What is up, guys? It is HerpTime, and I know I say this before every single one of my videos, but this time it is true. I'm gonna start making more YouTube videos, and that's because I just started college. I'm at my house right now, but my college is not that far away. I have a dorm there, but I'm here for the weekend, and I have a lot of time on my hands, to be frank. And I'm going to fill that time with making YouTube videos. So you guys subscribe if you haven't. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more HerpTime coming your way. So let's get to the focus of this video, which is care and breeding of Abronia. I've had a lot of requests for this video, but I'm also making it because when I was planning on and researching Abronia and I wanted to get them, I couldn't find any good videos on how to care for them, and especially how to breed them. So this video is going to cover that, and if you're planning on getting some, or at least interested, I hope this video helps out. They're a lot easier to care for than the internet makes it seem. So let's jump right in. Alright guys, so let's talk enclosure requirements. These are made of mesh because Abronia need a lot of aeration. They do not do good with air sitting still. So we have these, I think minimum size for Abronia is 18 by 18 by probably 30 inches. I'm not sure the size of this. It might be that, might be a little bigger. This might be 18 by 18 by 30, and that's where my juveniles are. And it's worked out so far for both. What I use for substrate is moss. Bogman moss, to be exact. This is from Home Depot. I also get it from Lowe's. And it's way cheaper to get it in packs like that from Home Depot or Lowe's than getting it from a pet store, so that's why I do it. I always make sure it's organic, and I always make sure it's moist. And I put about 3 or 4 inches in the bottom because my Abronia really like to burrow in it, and it also keeps the humidity up. It holds the moisture, slowly lets it out, and they just love it so much. I also have live plants. I have Pathos, really easy plants to take care of, and bromeliads. The one in here is not doing so good, but the 2 in here I have, they're doing pretty good. Also have some dead vines that came from my backyard. They work really well. They like to climb on them. That's basically it. When you're planting plants, what I've done is you can either do pots, shallow pots, plastic Tupperwares, but I've gone coconut husk planting. I wouldn't call them pots, but they're like what goes inside of a clay pot. I use those and I plant stuff in there, and then I put the moss all around. So that's basically all I've done for the enclosure. Let's talk lights. Alright guys, when we talk heat and lights, you definitely need UVB. It's vital to Abronia's health. It's vital for the creation of D3 in their bodies, and also a side effect is they have really nice color when you're using good UVB. Without it, they start to turn gray, but with it, they're going to be their bright green, bright blue, bright whatever color they are. And you can really tell a difference when they have UVB or not. It also it's going to inhibit metabolic bone disease from happening because it's going to help them absorb that calcium. Also, heating-wise, Abronia don't like a lot of heat. These babies, I've never got them over 80 degrees because it's just not healthy for them. They are not used to that. So this room is around 70 degrees, 72 degrees. I don't have a heat lamp on them right now, and I probably only will once it gets a little colder just to make sure they have a little heat, but honestly, they don't need it. And when I talk about breeding them in a few minutes and cycling them, you honestly don't need heat. They will be able to tell, unless your house is a constant 65 degrees, they'll be able to tell what time of year it is, and it'll affect them and it's just how it works. So on the babies, I do have a heat lamp, barely. It's like either 50 or 60, I don't remember. It's just because I want them to be a little warm. I want them to grow a little faster, so that's why I have it. But definitely UVB, not too much heat, below 80 degrees, and they can get as low as 40 in the winter, like for short periods of time. But I've had mine as low as like 50 to 60 in the winter, and they're completely fine. So let's move on to feeding them. I feed mine mainly crickets and occasionally dubia roaches. And if you find a grasshopper or something outside, you can throw that in there always, of course. So when I'm feeding them crickets, I used to feed with forceps, but I've found it's much, much, much easier just to dump in 30 or 40 every few days, because the crickets will go to the top where the light is because it's warmest up there. And crickets, obviously, they want the warmth. And when the Abronia are hungry, they'll just climb on up there and they'll eat what they want and they'll be done. And I dust my crickets with calcium and D3 so that they do get the nutrients they need if it's not in the crickets. What else? Regarding water, I don't have any sitting water dishes in my vivariums, but I do spray them every morning. Now that I'm going to college, my mom sprays them every morning. But that's what they drink. Make sure you spray them and the whole cage. You want to keep the moss moist. You want to water the plants, and make sure you spray enough so that even a few hours later there's still some drops on the plant leaves that they can drink. That's just what I do. It's worked out for me. I've found that the sitting water the crickets drown in, they don't really go and drink from it, and it just becomes a mess, and it's a hassle. So just a spray bottle, bada boom, bada bing. I mean, obviously I spend a lot more time doing that, but I don't just do it in the morning. Even though that's fine, whenever I come here, I just do a few quick spray them, and they always drink it up, and never had any problems. So I think we're done with the basic care. If you guys have any more questions, leave them in the comments. I promise I will respond fast. Let's get into breeding. Let's get it. So before I got these guys, I was interested in breeding them. That's why I was getting a pair. So the internet made it seem like it was so hard to breed these. But honestly, all you have to do is take good care of them, and it's going to happen. Just make sure they have water, make sure they have lots of food, lots of cover, lots of climbing, and honestly, it's going to happen. Also, what I did, which I think really helped me out, I put them by a window, like, see how there's a window here? Usually, or what I did last year, I was in a different house. I had the window there and the screen open, so they would get fresh air coming in. And when it got nighttime, the temperature would change. When it became day, the temperature would change. It also helped with the light. So in the summer, the days were longer. In the winter, they were shorter. So they got the full experience of what was going on. It was basically like them being in the wild, except contained. So I think that was one of the keys to the success of me breeding them. But just make sure, if you can't put them by a window, just make sure you cycle the time of the UVB or whatever light you have. You should have a UVB, but other lights as well. And make sure you drop the temperature in the winter. That's going to be one key that's going to make a difference. dropping the temperature in the winter, making the day shorter. Make sure you always have moist moss at the bottom. Make sure you have food, and they're going to breed for you. At least they did for me. It's really not that hard. They're super cool animals. You can't really hold them. They're very skittish, and the male does try to bite me. But let me see if I can get out a baby for you. If they aren't hiding, because I'm definitely not going to dig through the moss. It's interesting because during the day, they will crawl everywhere, but at night, before I even turn off the lights, they know what time it is. And they will already be hidden in the moss. Wow. Well, it looks like you guys are out of luck because they're gone. They're asleep. But you will see more of them, I assure you. I don't know. They're cool, but they're super easy to take care of. So maybe I'll make another video about them. Maybe I won't. Let me know what you guys want. I also recently just got a good amount of leopard geckos. So stay tuned for a video about those. I plan on breeding them. I've also gotten into aquariums more. I plan on doing some videos on those. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. I promise more videos are coming. And I've also made an Instagram. I did have the HerpTime handle on Instagram, but I forgot the password, and every time I try to get it back, it doesn't let me. So we forgot that. I made a new Instagram. It's called K-E-U-Y, Q, not Q-E. You can say it however you want. I don't really care. Q Exotics. As long as you follow it, I don't care how you say it. K-E-U-Y-E-X-O-T-I-C-S. Q Exotics. Give it a follow. I'm posting often on there, and it's going to be cool. You guys are going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm already enjoying it. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know what else you want to see. And thanks for watching again. See you guys later. Herp hard or no herp.